other prayers facing east. Even when the orientation of the church enabled the celebrant to pray turned toward the people when at the altar, we must not forget that it was not the priest alone who then turned east. It was the whole congregation together with him. So the Pope says that in this book, The Spirit of the Liturgy, page 79. Okay. Now to explain briefly this, in the ancient church, before they would celebrate the Eucharist, sometimes after, but before, they would have a meal. They call it agape. St. Paul talks about that in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, chapter 10 and 11. So basically, people would come, okay? Let's read the text. Because this is the pretext, okay? The prelude to the first account of institution, okay? Which we find in Corinthians 11. So, are we there?
Yes.
Okay, chapter 11, we begin with verse 17. So St. Paul says, in giving this instruction, I do not praise the fact that your meetings are doing more harm than good. What is he doing? He's judging them. Okay? He's admonishing them. Okay? First of all, I hear that when you meet as church, there are divisions among you, and to a degree I believe it. There have to be factions among you in order that also those who are approved among you may become known. When you meet in one place, then, is it not to eat the Lord's Supper? For in eating, each one goes ahead with his own supper. One goes hungry, while another gets drunk. Do you not have houses in which you can eat and drink? Or do you show contempt for the church of God and make those who have nothing feel ashamed? What can I say to you? Shall I praise you? In this matter, I do not. Okay. And then he continues, okay, to explain, the first account of the institution. So basically, what he's saying, they would come with their food. There was a meal before celebrating the Eucharist. So the Eucharist was never the meal, the agape. It was different. So with these abuses, very early, the Eucharist was separated from the meal. The agape was no longer there. So today we want to simulate the agape in some churches whereby they are donuts after Mass. Something of this sort. They are good sometimes because, as you know, as Catholics, sometimes we are very disjointed. We just go to church and go home. We don't even know the people around us. So these are things like, coffee and donuts and whatever, at least they help to build community. So they are good if they are properly done. Okay? But they are not the Eucharist. Okay? So the Eucharist was never understood as a meal, so St. Paul is admonishing the meal. What happened was that slaves had to work. Okay? And so the rich people would come early with their choicest wines and foods and whatever, and they eat. And then slaves had very little. Maybe they would bring a toss of bread. That's all they had to eat. So you were coming to celebrate the love of Jesus, the love of God, in whom there are no distinctions, no slave, no woman, no man, no whatever. But then you come to celebrate the Eucharist and you show these distinctions just to make other people show how much you have, the meal, your family, the other family there. And then after eating your fill, then you go to celebrate the Eucharist. Oh, we are one body. Nonsense. You are not one body. Because you show your divisions. Okay? You can't see that other brothers and sisters are in need. You eat your fill, others go hungry. So do away with it. You have your houses, eat over there, and come and celebrate the supper of the Lord. So to go back and say that the Eucharist is a meal is a gross misunderstanding and misrepresentation of the reality of what it was. Because the early church understood it very early that what Jesus told them to do was not a meal. It was in the context of the meal that he instituted new worship. The Jewish sacrificial Paschal meal was celebrated every year. So there was no point Jesus telling them, do this. No. So we don't celebrate the Last Supper. We celebrate the supper of the Lord, the Eucharist. So it was at the Last Supper. But it's not, the Eucharist is not the Last Supper, meaning the meal, the Jewish Paschal meal. Okay, we'll continue from there next week. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. I saw all the friends I haven't seen in a long time. They came too. Thank you so much.